Hi everyone, my name is Archie. I'm the athletic trainer here at Templeton High School. For those of you who don't know, I provide medical aids, so treatment, preventative treatment, rehab, and all of that stuff for our student athletes here at Templeton High School if they're dealing with any injuries or issues throughout their season. That being said, I always encourage you to let your children know to come and see me if they have any problems or injuries that they're dealing with, so that way we can get them out on the field, back to their sport in a timely and safe manner. Going on to some points that I want to touch base on that are really important here is concussions. We take concussions here at Templeton High School very seriously, and it can be quite a lengthy process for those of you who have not had to deal with concussion protocol. So what happens is, if your student athlete or your child happens to be suspected of having concussion, they have to go see the doctor a minimum of 2 times, one to get diagnosed for having concussion, or they get cleared, and then 2 to get fully cleared once they complete the return to play. So if a student athlete is suspected of having concussion and they are diagnosed with a concussion, they have to go through a return to play protocol, which is a minimum of 7 days, and they need to complete that with either myself, the athletic trainer, or another healthcare professional. If it happens outside of school sports, then they need to get it done outside through a healthcare professional prior to returning to school sports. It can be quite a lengthy process, so if you have any questions about that, feel free to come and talk to me about that. And then moving on, the next topic is sudden cardiac arrest. Sudden cardiac arrest is the leading cause of death in young athletes, and there are very few signs and symptoms that can lead to sudden cardiac arrest, and many times it happens, or you notice the symptoms right when it happens. And the best way to help prevent sudden cardiac arrest is to go and get a screening done by a healthcare professional, a doctor. And if your family has a history of heart issues or heart problems, it's always best to have your child go and get screened. And then lastly, I want to talk about mental health. Mental health is very important with our student athletes here. They have to go through all the physical activities and everything throughout their day and through the sports, and a lot of times that can be affected through their mental health. They go through the entire day dealing with school, the pressures of classes, pressures of fitting into friend groups and everything else, and at the end of the day they have to go through the gauntlet of dealing with the coaches and all the physical activity. And the last thing they need is to have more pressure when they get home. And the best thing for dealing with mental health is making sure that we're talking to our children, talking to our student athletes, and making sure that they're okay, having everything that they need, and all of that stuff. So mental health is very important. I always recommend that student athletes come and talk to myself or a counselor or anybody else, and always encourage your kids to go and seek help if they need someone to talk to. And then closing on that, please come and talk to myself or any of the coaches if your child has any medical issues, so that way we can address those and get those taken care of. So that way we're not having to find out mid-season that they have a problem and we're trying to figure out what to do with it or how to treat it. And the sooner we take care of these injuries or issues, the longer they'll be able to stay out on the field, and they won't have to deal with it while out there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And come and talk to me. And hopefully I don't have to see your children in my office, because if they're out of the office, then they're not hurt. But always recommend that they come and talk to me and say hi. My door's always open, so always feel free to come and talk to me. All right, thank you.
At this school, we live by certain rules.
We don't make excuses, and we don't complain.
We apologize when we're wrong.
We forgive others.
We keep our promises.
We respect each other.
Our opponents and our referees.
We set a positive example.
Regardless of our age.
We work hard and play hard.
We never give up.
We encourage each other.
We stay positive.
We know our role.
We do our job.
We get it done.
We belong.
We are Eagles.
And we are family!